Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. And today we're going to be talking about investment products. So last time we talked about what type of account do we get and how the heck do we get an account or get access to our account if it's through an employer. And today we're going to be talking about what do we stick in that account. It is vlogmas. I have no idea what day it is. I'm just making videos. Here's my atheist bush behind me, and let's go ahead and get into these products. A couple of things. One, if I am trying to keep this very simple and straightforward, I'm going to just talk about the sort of few basic products. This is again a type of situation where there's a lot of lingo. The more you know you don't know, and there are way more products than what I'm going to talk about in this video, but I'm just trying to keep it simple and introduce you to some of the basics. I am not a whatever that type of person is called. I'm an artist, and I'm just sharing information that I've gained along the way. I'm not at all trying to give you advice. You should definitely take this information and jump from it. But I am trying to show that, you know, even though things in this area are pretty complicated, the fundamentals are pretty straightforward. And I just want to say the books that I shared in that video a few weeks ago, which I'll put in a card wherever that goes, they really lay this out very clearly. Okay, so let's get into terms. Okay. First thing is, you've probably heard of stocks and bonds. So I'm going to quickly define stocks and bonds, and then I'm going to talk about a few things that sort of kind of fall under the stock side of things. So a stock is a small portion of a company, a piece of a company. So if I buy a stock in Facebook, I'm a part owner in Facebook. And that is really cool because a company like Facebook or Disney or Apple has seen Facebook skyrocket. So if I have a piece of that, it might really increase in value. And so if I sell it, I make a big profit, which is cool. On the flip side though, if it wasn't Facebook, but MySpace that I had my stock in, I might have nothing right now. I actually don't know if MySpace still trades, but anyway, I might not have anything. So when you have a stock, when you buy stocks, individual stocks, there is more potential reward, but there's also more risk because the company could just go away and then you would have nothing to show for it. Okay, bonds are essentially a loan. You loan your money for a predictable amount of interest or return at the end. These are less volatile and less reward. They are something that you'll want to weight your portfolio toward as you reach closer to retirement age, because they're less volatile, but you don't want to overweight your portfolio in this category early on because you won't get that optimal return. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a mutual fund. And a mutual fund is basically, instead of owning a stock, a piece of stock, you own a fund, and within that fund, there's a bunch of different pieces of different companies. And with a mutual fund, this is controlled by a person. So a person has decided what goes in that fund, and it usually will mirror something like the biggest companies in the US, which is the S&P 500, or it will mirror the whole stock market. So someone is controlling what's in that fund so that it has that kind of like general average return of the market. This I feel like is often talked about, or maybe I just think about it as usually being a fund of stocks, but it actually could be a fund of bonds or different things. But basically it's a fund with a bunch of different little pieces of things, and that way you have some diversity within that fund. So instead of like Facebook going out of business and you being left for nothing, if Facebook goes out of business, you still have 499 other pieces of company, and the person in control is going to switch that, you know, that company out so that it keeps mirroring whatever list they're using, the top 500 companies or the whole market. An index fund is pretty cool because it's very much the same as that, but instead of being managed by a person, it's managed by an algorithm. These index funds were invented by Jack Bogle. He is the founder of Vanguard, the investment firm. And yeah, basically they're a little cheaper because there's not a person working, it's an algorithm or a machine. And the cool thing or scary thing, Violet just jumped on my lap, is that research has shown that the algorithm will actually outperform a human. So they're cheaper, they're overall going to do a little bit better, and yeah, that's an index fund. The next thing you might hear is ETF or exchange traded fund. These are really similar to index funds. The main difference is how often you can trade them. Next, I'm going to talk about life cycle or target date funds. And these are, I think Ramit Sethi calls these like set it and forget it. Basically, it's a fund that has a whole diversified portfolio inside it for you, and it's basically designed to geared toward that year, and it adjusts itself naturally, so you don't do anything. Of course, it's going to cost a little bit more money because someone's doing that, and you can certainly do all of that on your own, but it's a great set it and forget it type of option. All right, so yeah, those are the main things. And I think I said at the beginning, I always think of like mutual funds, index funds, ETFs kind of being under the stock category, like they're little bits of different companies, but that's actually not true. They could be little bits of different bonds or different REITs, which are real estate. It's a type of way to invest in real estate in the market. They could be a variety of different things, but the cool thing is that they do some of that diversification for you. You don't have all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, I hope this was useful. I hope that I defined some terms in a way that was pretty easy to understand. Definitely let me know down below if you have any questions or anything to add, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, I just wanted to pop in and say that I will have my little page with all of this information that you can copy down below from a Google Sheet. And so yeah, I'll have that link down below.